Hello, welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and today we are going to have a look at another Windows 10 mobile-centered episode where I'm going to play 3 different games with you. And today those games will be 3D chess game. I'm going to play Kicker Weltmeisterschaft, and I'm going to play Kingdom Shams Dungeon Runner. My name is Gerald. As always, I've got a couple of different things with me, and we are not going to use many of them today because most of the games are really something very hard to play with a mouse or a keyboard or whatever. So some of the games will be played with the smartphone itself and can be shown on the big screen, but other than that it's going to be a smartphone game more or less. And what I'm using here is of course my Bluetooth mouse in this case. In some situations I might use the Foldable keyboard in this episode, and of course there would in theory be the gamepad. So in this case the Xperia 10 Mag, totally bullshit. In this case it's going to be the Xbox One S wireless controller like this one. But in the end it's going to be at the side because there's no game we can use it for in this episode. Even though some offer some kind of gamepad support, which I find astonishing, but no, doesn't seem to work in these games neither. Other than that, let's start with the first game. Of course not. The most important thing, of course, we didn't mention is the Lumia 950 XL, which is this. It's a Windows 10 mobile smartphone with a Mozo cover at the back in weird wood. And in the end we have a USB-C connector at the bottom, and the USB-C connector is connected, let's put it here, is connected to the display dock which is standing at the side and which is connected to the TV, and like this we can have the smartphone giving us this experience, in this case desktop-like experience, but many of the games are not going to be in the desktop mode. Anyway, as you already can see, we can now use, for instance, the smartphone and of course the keyboard and stuff like that to control everything like it would, close to as it being a computer or something, but it's not really, and it's all done by the smartphone itself. So if you want to know more about all this, please have a look at the corner up there, and without further ado, let's start with the first game, and we are going to play 3D chess game, it's called like this. Okay, so first off, for that I will have to go to my all apps list here, and as you already can see, there we are. 3D chess game is a Continuum enabled game, so we can play it in this kind of play style or play screen because it's just available in Continuum mode to select from. So I'm going to click on that. Here you already see something a little bit strange about the game. It's going to be a little bit stretched. So in general it's meant to be played with a smartphone screen and more or less in the portrait mode. And like you can see here, it's going to be a little bit stretched, but really not too much. So if you have a look at the numbers here, it's pretty okay. It's not really much stretched or something. And interestingly enough about it, you can of course change, in general you should be at least, come on. I'm in a mode of selecting stuff, so that's not going to happen there. We will have to restart it, so I'm just going to turn around and show you everything. So first off, I'm going to go to the menu in this case. And the interesting thing about it is that all the game and stuff like that is all played here. So even the menu itself is already on the play screen. Very interesting about this. Anyway, we are going to reset this. Yes, we want to start a new game. And yes, we can get rid of this. And as you can see, the place pieces are now there, and it's a 3D game because we can really turn around, have a look at the different chess pieces here from different kind of angles and stuff like that. And of course, what you can do here, you can change, for instance, which IE you want to play against. So how good is the IE in chess? Which kind of colors you want, and so on and so forth. A couple of different standard views can be used here. So for instance, to go further in, further out, you can do the same with, for instance, your wheel on your mouse here. So if I'm going to put it in or put it out, that's fine too. And of course you can for instance get rid of the sound and stuff like that. But if you don't want anything of that, you can just hide the menu and now you can just play it. You don't have even to click on a play button or something. Just tell the chess pieces what they should do. So in the end, the white pieces should now move. Let's have a look if it's... Yeah, it is. So I am the white piece part, as you can see here. And I can now just select something and, for instance, go with one of my play figures. And he's going to play against me in this kind of way, and he's always telling me where he got from. So that's very interesting, because like this he can't really do anything because you're not watching or something. So that's a good thing for a game like this, because sooner or later you're going to leave this game and come back later, because of course chess can be a game of a pretty long time you're playing this, and everything else is just like you would expect it. So click on it, you can go 1 or 2 steps with your peasant here, and so on and so forth. It's a really nice iteration. Only thing is it's a little bit stretched, so it's looking a little bit strange for me. Anyway, playing the game itself is fine like this, and if you want to, you can of course play it on your smartphone itself, and then it's going to be no problem at all with the viewing angles and stuff like that. Anyway, you can of course do this. For instance, this is now a horse or the jumper, and with the jumper of course you have a couple of different limited movement options. So for instance, always 3 in one direction and 1 up or down or whatever. And like this, you're only getting a couple of different options shown here. And of course he's going to play the same way, and so the different chess pieces are in check there. They are doing what they should do. The game itself is working exactly like you would expect it. I'm just going to take one of his play figures there, just to show you how that is done. Nicely done too. Of course, we are now more or less doomed, or maybe, I'm not sure. More or less we are doomed like this, but whatever. It doesn't really matter much, because it's really, nice to play this. Wow, this was very stupid from him. Okay, so a very simple RE in this case. There are a couple of different difficulty levels if you want to go like this, and you can just play them all or whatever, and just try it out. It's really a nice one if you like chess. I don't think there's much of a tutorial or something, so if you don't play chess and you want to learn it, this might not be the right game for you. But anyway, try it out. They're even going to give you a couple of different informations about what you can do next, who is the next one, which kind of movements you are allowed to do and which are not, and so on and so forth. So maybe just try it out if you like chess. Okay, so next one. I'm just going to close this one down, and we're going to have a look at the next game. The next game is something, you all know that the Europe World Cup, or Europe Cup better to say, is going on at the moment for football, or for soccer in the American language. And we are going to play a little bit of kicker in this case. This game is very hard to play with the mouse, just to let you know. I'm just going to show you how it's done. I'm not even sure if we can do it in this kind of way, or if you have to change the mode for that to happen. We will see that. So you can already see it. Okay, it's blended out, so in this very low opacity one, which means we have to use the mirror mode to play this game. To do that, you can go to your smartphone with Windows 10 Mobile enabled, of course, and activate it. And now you will have a little 3-point menu at the top there, and there are a couple of different options. The first one is where you want to go. In here you will go down to the extended settings, and here we can tell him, hey, go out of the Continuum experience, go to a mirrored experience like this, and now we should be able to play everything that is on the smartphone in the smartphone area or way, which is fine. It totally works and stuff like that. but of course for our format here it's not perfect in some situations, especially if you can't or very hardly play a game with a mouse. But anyway, I just told you we will, and so I'm just going to try to do it. There is our game, and it's a very nice one. I'm just very bad in it. So even in real life I can't really play this game, but whatever. What you already can see, it's a pretty nicely done one. So there is, of course I can see it on the screen itself here too. There is, for instance, pretty nice music in there. We have a couple of very nice interfaces, if you ask me, so it works very nicely and well. If I just go out here, this is more or less the starting screen you're going to start with, and as you can see we have a couple of different options here. So the first means a game, the second is more or less a scoreboard or something like that. There are some kind of lockables or unlockable items, I'm not sure about them at the moment. Let's see if I can even change something here so you are easier. There. Okay. So let's go to the English language so it's easier for us to see what's happening here. So you can change between different languages, you can go with different other kinds of stuff like sensitivity settings and stuff like that. And it's really a nice game if you like this kind of kicker game. And in the end, the statistics you can have a look at. I didn't play it much, so we don't find much in there, but still. You can even go to, if you want to go to from the top, or if you want to have a little bit of an angle on it, depending on what you like to see better here. I'm going to use this one because I never did that before, and just because I just want to see how that is working out for me, myself and so on. So just go to play now. Interesting that I changed, oh maybe I should have, give me 1 sec. Yeah, I have to confirm it, of course, otherwise it's not going to register. But now here you can already see it. I'm going to click on play, and we are just going to go with a quick match. As you can see, we have a couple of different options here to go with. So how large should your playboard be? How many, more or less rows are going to be there of players? How many tables, and so on and so forth. It's a very nice option and many options to play here. You can, at the start, of course, select which kind of team you want to play, and we are now going to play Germany versus Honduras in this case. After that, you just click on play, and here you already can see what we are going to talk about in this case. Okay, and the worst thing about this with the mouse is that you really are going to control the, I already got a goal, doesn't matter. You really already got to control the orientation of all your players with your mouse itself. So you are clicking, and then each and every movement you are going to do will more or less move around the players here too. And this is a very bad thing. Yeah, I'm going to get smashed up anyway, so even if I would play it in a reasonable way, you see this, as long as I'm trying to hold something down, the players are going to move with any kind of movement I'm going to do in the side page. This is very hard to play like this, and so with a mouse or something, it's even worse than with touch or so. So if you play it on touch, that's a good thing about the mirror mode. You always can go to the smartphone itself and try to play it with touch too. So if we are just going to click on start here, and I'm just trying it again, you already can see it's the same kind of behavior, but it's probably a little bit easier, not really. Yeah, it's a little bit easier, but I'm really not good at this game or at orientating it. It's really something I am just not very capable of doing. Yeah, perfect. Doesn't really matter. I wouldn't be good at it anyway. So in the end, if you like this game, if you like Kicker or something, it's really not bad. It's a nice iteration, especially if because it's really pretty much like real life would be too. If you are playing it and the ball, for instance, comes to an end or somewhere where nobody can reach it or something, like for instance here we can of course reach it, but yeah, got it. But in the end, if it comes there somewhere, it's going to vanish after a while, and then you are going to play from the middle line again, I think at least. No. You see, I think I'm a little bit better at it if I'm playing it like this. Maybe even just because I'm trying it more hardly now or something. But one of the games which is really not meant to be played with a mouse, I would say, because it's even harder then. But yeah, you already can see it. There we go. Bring it to my card. You already can see what this game is all about. Okay, got it nicely there. Yeah, in the end, all you have to do to move one of these parts here is of course doing something like this. So really just go to the side. And if you want it to move in this direction, you can do that of course too, like this. And yeah, this is more or less a game. You are going to try to play it like this and get it done. Very interesting game. I really like it, how it's done. It's really nicely done technically and some stuff like that, but I'm just bad at it. Sorry. Next one we are going to play in this episode is King Sham's Dungeon Runner. And this is really a very nice game, I think. It's a 3D game, not the newest graphics or something, but still a nice game to play. And it's a runner and run and jump, or jump and run for a side scroller maybe or something like that. And you can play it very well on your smartphone and not at all on any kind of other thing. So if you're trying to use, for instance, this, it's going to work. So you can register clicks and stuff like that with your mouse with it, but it's very hard to play. Anyway, we are going to try it out, and I'm going to play it on my smartphone screen for you, just so you can see what the game is all about and how it's going to be played. For that I can just go in my search bar here and put in Kingdom in this case. Probably, this is already enough probably. There we are, Kingdom Sham's Dungeon Runner. I'm just going to click on this, and as mentioned before, you can try to play it with your mouse and stuff like that. It's just not going to happen very well because it's going to be very hard to navigate through. If you experience something like this, doesn't really matter. It's really just about the orientation of your smartphone, so which kind of orientation it is in. You can bring it to the big screen, and now you even have a full screen playing experience. It's pretty nice, but again, I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. So you are this little guy there with more or less a pitchfork for some kind of reason, whatever, and you're just going to run around, and there are going to be obstacles and enemies you're going to fight. And the real big problem is how far away the buttons are here. So I can, for instance, do this. To fight, I can jump over it, but I really have to be very, very fast to go from one side to the other. And yeah, at least for me, if I'm talking with you, trying to make a video, trying to explain everything with you, trying to navigate around and trying to see everything here, that's just too much for me. So in the end, if you are playing it on a smartphone itself, it's a really nice game. It really works out well. So in this case, it's really nicely done for the smartphone screen. If I just go to play again, go here, now I really can just, like a normal jump and run would work more or less, or a side scroller would work in the end. And in general, what I find a little bit astonishing for this is that it has some kind of an option. I think they assume that I'm going to jump up there. Probably. Okay, interesting, have a new kind of weapon now. But in the end, as mentioned before, I got it leveled up for some kind of reason. Oh, a bow, interesting. So you can see we have a couple of different, and a magician even. So we have a couple of different options here to play this game. You can really go with different kinds of play styles. And of course they are going to force you to do stuff. In the end, very nice game if you like this kind of playtime or side scroll or whatever. Biggest problem about it, there are even boss kills and stuff like that. So there are fights against bosses and stuff like that too, where you are going to no longer go sideways like this, but you are going to stop more or less. And yeah, in the end, all you will do in this game is of course jump, run, and have some kind of meters run score more or less. And yeah, as mentioned before, there is an option to go with the gamepad, which would highly benefit this game. It would really work greatly. But the problem about it is it's not going to register with me here. So I'm not sure why they did it and why it's that kind of way, like, but whatever. It is like that, I can't change it. Yeah, and this is more or less the end of the episode. I hope you had fun with the games I showed you here. If you would like to play some of them, there are links down below to download them. And other than that, thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe to the channel, and we will see us in the next episode again. If you have any kind of questions, comments, whatever, down below in the commentary section, you can put them, and I'm trying to answer everything. So have fun, have a great day. Bye bye, and see you next time. Bye.